Chapter 74, Empire. I woke up at 7 New York City time, which means I woke up at 6 Chicago time, which is actually quite normal for me because of how early I have to wake up for law school. Marcus said I wanted to sleep in, and I know because of his sensory issues, he wanted me to be quiet and watch TV until he got up, so I just looked at him until he got up at 8:30. "Good morning," I said when I kissed him on when he began to move. I then kissed him on the forehead. "Good morning," Marcus said back. Marcus then kissed me on the lips back. "There is no breakfast here. When are you ready to go into Manhattan?" I asked. "Let's shower first and worship the Lord," Marcus answered. "Good point." We then showered and packed our suitcases and worshipped the Lord and checked out and left the Comfort Inn. "Where would you like to have breakfast? Here in the Bronx or in Manhattan?" Marcus asked. "Manhattan," I answered. "Okay, I only wanted you to choose because we were going to the Empire State Building today, and that was my choice." "Okay." We then began to walk on the 3rd Street Bridge and over the Harlem River. It was a beautiful day in Chicago, no clouds, and it was like 60 degrees. It was a beautiful day in New York City, no clouds, and it was like 60 degrees. "Beautiful view," Marcus said. "I know," I said. "Since this is the Harlem River we are walking over, is this the bridge going to take us into Harlem?" "Yes, especially since now we are emptying out into the Harlem River Park, which is being run by Harlem." "So we're in Manhattan now?" "Yes." We then made a left and at the end of the bridge and began traveling south, and we came across an IHOP which we stopped at for breakfast. "Where are we in relation to the Empire State Building?" Marcus asked. "We were 125th Street. The Empire State Building is at 33rd, a few blocks west of here," I answered. "I see. If we walk about 2 blocks west of here and make a left and then go south, we'll be at the north side of Central Park. All we need to do is get past the south side in order to get to the Empire State Building." Do we need to get past Times Square for that too?" "Yes." "May I ask, where is the Empire State Building in relation to our hotel tonight?" "North." "How far north?" "About a mile or so." "Okay." We then were served our pancakes, and then we paid and left to go south and toward the north end of Central Park. "I want to apologize to you about something," I said. "About what?" Marcus asked. "About getting drunk." "Oh, it's fine. You didn't do any harm while you were drunk." "I know, but I was hallucinating, and I hallucinated that I saw the return." How is that a problem you need to apologize for?" In case it threw you off." "Oh, it didn't." "Okay, I'm glad." Me too." We then saw the north side of Central Park and then entered there, and with how big Central Park is, I know it's going to take me a while to get through it. "Whoa," said Marcus. "I know," I said with a smile. I have heard of Central Park many times, but it is so amazing to see it in person." "I agree." You weren't taken to Central Park when you were adopted." "My dads were a little bit afraid of the Bronx, so they took me straight back to Chicago after my adoption became legal." "I see. I never went anywhere with that orphanage." "I'm sorry." "It is okay. In absolute honesty, the fact God put me on this planet is as a result of rape disturbs me more than the orphanage any day of the week." "Don't talk like that. "Why?" I asked. "You're going to do so much good in this world once you become a lawyer." "Oh, you're right. I know. I shouldn't have worded it like that to begin with. I know." We then began walking by Strawberry Fields, which is the part of Central Park where John Lennon's ashes were scattered. "Do you want a closer look at the Strawberry Fields Monument?" I asked. "I appreciate the offer, but I have to say no. It upsets me too much knowing someone killed John Lennon like that," answered Marcus. "Oh, I see. You didn't upset me You didn't upset me if that was what you were thinking. I wasn't. Remind me, what's your favorite singer? Adele. If she died, would you have wanted to visit the monument? Not if it was for assassination. That is just like how it is with me and the Beatles. I see. It is an autism thing. I'm sure of it. There was a pause. Then Marcus began talking. You want to know something that I thought New York City would be better about, but it is not? Marcus asked. What? I asked. You know how people stare at us in Chicago? Because of how we dress? Yes. I would think of how diverse New York City is. That would change and we would be accepted and people would stop staring at us, but I was wrong. I see. Certainly beautiful, though. Do you want to move here? Oh no. I am a prince, and it is my obligation to stay in Robbinsog forever, Marcus answered. Oh, sorry, I forgot, I said. It's fine. Thanks for understanding. I also love living that close to Chicago, and I have a privilege of our nation being inside yet separate from the Chicago Loop because of my parents' high salaries. Not a lot of people get that privilege or living in downtown of any city, let alone the third largest city in the USA. I know. Do you like living on Howard? I do, but it is mostly just friendly to my dad's. We then passed the south end of Central Park, and we were at the corner of 7th Avenue, and we needed to continue walking south, but after we were 10 minutes past Central Park, we were in Times Square. Welcome to Times Square, I said. Is this where the board drops on New Year's Eve for those that live in the Eastern time zone? Marcus asked. Yep. Beautiful with all those lights. I know. If only we could see it at night. We could come back here at night, but if your feet are not hurting tonight, we'll see. Okay. We then left Times Square, and then it was just a couple of turns, and we were at the Empire State Building, and when we entered the main lobby, there was no line for tickets to go up. Hi, 2 tickets for both floors, said Hannah. We're offering tickets today at a lower price for just $40 instead of $58 because the 102nd floor, which is more popular than the 86th floor, is closed, said the deskman. I'm fine with that, just 86th floor, said Marcus. I'll still pay for it, I said. I then stuck out my credit card and paid the desk man, and we were off to the elevator. It took us about a minute to get to the 86th floor, because that is where the deck is, and the elevators go super fast. We ended up in an interior, but we could see that there was an exterior area that we must see, and we were outside, and sure enough, it was the most beautiful city view I have ever seen. It was just breathtaking. Wow, said Marcus. I know, I said, rubbing his back. Do you want me to tell you something embarrassing? What is it? I've never been to the top of the Sears Tower. It is the Willis Tower now. I didn't know it was renamed. It was some corporate thing. Anyhow, I have never been to the top of it. Really? Why? I asked. My parents have a crippling fear of heights. I do not, but that is why when my parents need to fly somewhere, they always do so without being near a window seat. I always take the window seat because I love those views from down below. I see. Either way, I have never been on top of it myself. Have your brothers? No, due to my parents' crippling fear. Why is your nation on the 7th floor of a building, then? Because we never look out the windows, and they wanted to establish our nation in the Loop, and because they love the Chicago Loop. Same applies when we are in our pool on top of the 20th floor in our building in the Loop, and they feel when we are in the Chicago L Loop, where the trains are elevated but well protected by high fences, explained Marcus. I see, said Hannah. Have you ever been to the top of the Willis Tower? Every year for my parents' anniversary. I know that the Willis Tower is superior to this because this is a 102nd floor observation tower and the Willis Tower is a 103rd, and an elevator that takes you directly there. And the Willis Tower, I know, is the tallest building in the United States and formerly the world. I know. But let's focus on the Empire State Building for now. Yep. We then begin walking around the outside deck of the building.